Good evening. So, we are starting a new chapter in the Bhagavad Gita today. This is chapter 15. We had just concluded chapter 14, which was meant more for the three gunas and how the person is, which guna he is dwelling in, and what is the outcome of it all. Then we discussed about how to reach beyond the gunas, how to reach Shri Krishna himself and merge in him. This is what we had learnt in the last chapter. This chapter, chapter 15, is all about the Supreme Person. We are going to start with verse 1. It is going to teach us something very different and unique. So let us see what it says. We are doing the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 1. Shri Bhagavan said, "He who knows the Pipala tree, which is said to be imperishable, with its roots in the primeval being, whose branch is represented by Brahma, and whose leaves are the Vedas, is a knower of the purport of the Vedas." Now, here Shri Krishna is giving us an idea about this creation. He says, he who knows the Pipala tree. Now, Pipala tree can be mentioned as we can see here on earth, which is called the Ashwatha tree. It's the same tree under which Shri Krishna also passed away. But it is in Buddhism, it is called the Bodhi tree also. Okay? In other religions, it is sometimes referred to the tree of life or tree of creation, whichever the name might be. Sri Krishna is giving us a similar example of the Pipala tree. Sometimes in Marathi we call it Pimpal. Pimpal is Ficus religiosa. That is the name. It is the botanical name. You can find it anywhere. As a kid, we used to take a leaf from it and put it in the books, and then we used to get those beautiful, designs. I'm sure you remember if you were doing that. So he says, he who knows the Pipala tree, which is said to be imperishable with its roots in the primeval being. Now here Sri Krishna is talking about a tree which is literally imperishable, which means it is a tree of creation. It is created. It is a tree of life. It creates life. So it is not referring to any practical tree as that. In those who do anthropology, they understand how to find the tree of life from their own past. They will go down in the past and they will come across various branches. I'm sure you have heard about that. Now, if I compare all this to what Sri Krishna is talking about, he is talking about creation. It is literally like an imperishable tree. It keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. It's a reference point. We have to just take it as a reference point. And then understand that how this creation happens. Brahmaji is supposed to be the creator. Correct? Now, since Brahmaji is the creator, he has to have a framework on which he can put everything together. Think about it. I need a blueprint if I have to create something. Those who say that they have discovered something or invented something, That invention or discovery is based on certain back information. There is a certain information which they collect, and based on that they can create certain things. So if I have to take into account how the rockets were created, so there is certain background. Likewise, the aeroplanes, the International Space Station, the bacteriums, how to kill them, the vaccines, you name it. Everything has been created on certain basis, certain architectural designs, basis of something. So Brahmaji is the creator. He is like a scientist. Think about it like that. He is going to create some object. Naturally, when he creates the object, he requires the blueprint. Now this blueprint has been going on and on and on and on and on. Do you recollect in the last chapter we had said that everything goes back to the Brahma? Right? We discussed this. The Purusha itself becomes dormant. He is a passive principle, no doubt about it, but everything becomes dormant and stays in the Brahma. Brahma. Now imagine the blueprints or the seed, like I said, the design is stored in this Brahma. And then with the seed, how do I create the new creatures, the new generation? Think about it. So what I do? I take the seed from there, I use the technology or the framework or the design that is there, and then I start manufacturing or creating things. So Brahmaji, amongst those three, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh, so Brahmaji is a creator. He uses this framework to create the new world. Did you get this whole thing? So imagine like that. Say for example today, I was just watching a small, YouTube on permaculture. Now permaculture is creating something new. Basically it means that there might be a soil, there might be a land which is dry and totally it has no value or anything like that. I take this land and I create an entire forest out of it or a beautiful farm out of it. I have to start doing that. So what do I do? Basic structure is there. Now what do I do? So I need seeds, I need plants, I need the earthworms, I need the mulch, I need various other things. But do I need artificial stuff? Like we get the not the organic, the ones which are available in the marketplace, the urea and this and that and so much, the chemical fertilizers and pesticides, these are there. Do you think I need them? I don't need them. We form a good relationship with the soil which is alive by itself. That is a living thing. The earth is a living thing, but it is dead before we start the whole thing. After the permaculture, maybe a couple of years down the line, there's a huge forest over there. There's a beautiful ecosystem. There are birds, there are insects, there are all those. Everybody is living in harmony. Now this is the example which I can give you how a barren land got converted into a fertile land, and today so many things are growing on it. Imagine like this. At the beginning of creation, Brahmaji is this person. What does he do? He uses natural stuff that is lying over there. Okay? The framework is there. The technology to use it. How this can be done. Now, these are the two things. Brahmaji uses what is available to him, that is Prakriti's creation, and the framework. So these two things he uses and creates new forest of human beings and creatures, animals, birds, you name it, the universe by itself. So did you get it? The meaning of the word Pipala tree is the way in which this whole thing came back into existence. Rejuvenation, maybe rebirth. Rebirth I cannot use because rebirth means a different thing. Here it is, we created something based on background information, knowledge, technology and the available material. So now let us see this verse from that point of view. Shri Bhagwan said, he who knows the Pipala tree in the form of creation, which is said to be imperishable. It is imperishable, it is there. With its roots in the primeval being. Primeval being. I told you, Brahma, that itself, that is the primeval being. The Purusha who is resting over there has the total length and breadth of information, whose branch is represented by Brahmaji. One of the branch is represented by Brahmaji. He is the creator. Whose leaves are the Vedas? I told you, the framework on which everything is based is the knower and the purport of the Vedas. What is the knower and the purport of the Vedas? He knows what is there in the Vedas and why, the reason for the Vedas being over there. It's the information, is a huge load of information, overload of information. So Brahmaji uses that to create this entire universe, full of living creatures, you, me and the whole world around us. Got it? Then what happens? We move to verse 2. We are doing chapter 15 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 2. Fed by the three gunas and having sense objects for their tender leaves, the branches of the aforesaid tree, in the shape of the different order of creation, extend both downwards and upwards, and its roots, which bind the soul according to the action in the human body, are spread in all religions, higher as well as lower. Okay, this is a verse, we will take it very, very slowly for you to understand. When Brahmaji was creating something, it is based on the framework which we call as the Vedas. Nature, which is called Mother Nature, is giving us the load of the stuff that is available. When I was telling you permaculture, was I not telling you there are lots of things that are required like earthworms, the soil, water, mulch. All these things are required to make that soil into a living world. A living, throbbing kind of a world. The farm. So, what does he do? These three gunas are there in nature. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which we did in the last chapter. Remember that? If you don't remember, then please go and listen to the satsangs again. So, there he was talking about the three gunas. So, we take these three gunas into consideration. Let us take them back again. And Brahmaji, along with the three gunas, he takes everything as a sense object for their tender leaves. Remember, it's a Pipala tree. Remember, I told you it's a representation, a Pipala tree. From that, the creation is going to come up. How is the tree? How does the tree look like? It has got, the tree grows up and it has got the underground also something. overhead also something. So there is a whole other tree, you imagine it. There is the earth, below that and above that, right? So we are going to see how this tree is. The tender leaves, they are the sense objects. What is this? There are the new leaves that are coming in. They are the sense objects. Remember, hearing, seeing, all those kind of things. We have those things with us. It's based on this that the tree will grow further and further and further. See, have you seen any tree grow? Huh? You will find that the leaves, very tiny leaves are there. Then they grow open and they become bigger and bigger and bigger. And then further the branch starts growing up, right? And then more leaves will come, more leaves will come, more leaves will come, like that. How does that work? Huh? The branch grows further up and then the leaves keep on sprouting. So there are fresh leaves. The fresh leaves are there. They give rise to the newer branch, the newer thing. Why? With our senses, we create further generations of ours. With our senses. Remember, three gunas, senses, mind and body put together, we create karmic debts. Now, I have karma with someone, I am naturally having to repay it back. So I have to be generated once again, keep on growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Got it? So human beings, we are like those leaves, we have those tender leaves, and we love to create so much karma with everybody around us. We have a difficulty of keeping our mouth and our mind shut. Just imagine, someone says something, what are you doing? And the person responds, why do you want to know what I'm doing? No, I just asked, why do you need to know what I'm doing? This is not important for you. Why should you know that? You mind your own business. But I was just asking like that. No, it doesn't concern you. You see, that ping pong, it started. The more you talk, the more you are creating karma. Because one person is getting agitated, the other person is getting upset, and this anger starts growing in everybody. Base, the senses, the mind, the body, the ego. So ego comes into play. Who do you think you are to ask me this question? Who do you think you are to ask this question? Useless talk. A talk which has nothing to do in our world, and yet we love to do this. We have no sense of understanding that every time when we open our big mouth and talk and respond and literally go ahead, we are creating a new leaf. And the branch keeps on growing. End of the day, you have to do your karma with that other person. Repayment is necessary. Because if you shout at that person may not have shouted back at you. So in some future life, that person will come back and shout at you. Say for example, a case. You see, old people, they have a habit. Now, old means anybody who is above 50, 60 and all, okay? So don't think that old means doddering type. No. Anybody who is 50, 60, 70, 80, this kind of people on this side of 50, they have a very dirty habit. Sense organ. See, the sense object. One of the most important is taste. They love to eat so much. But after the age of 50, 60 and 70, 1. Teeth, 2. Digestion, 3. Blood pressure, diabetes, all kinds of diseases they have. And their tongue is just wagging. They were, I want to eat something, I want to eat something, I want to eat something, I want to eat. The doctor says, you cannot eat oily stuff, you cannot eat this, you cannot eat that because it's going to be harmful to you. But these old people, they have this very strange way of saying, I have to eat little I will eat. And that little becomes more. Not realizing that they have created a loop in the system. With my own mother, I had to contend with her. She would hide a lot of stuff in the palm of her hand and eat away to glory. Oily stuff, full of, calories and stuff like that. If you tell her you are supposed to eat bland food or simple food, no, I need something which is fried, I need something with a lot of spices, and I need it really very tasty, for the tongue. So these sense objects that are there, that sense of, taste, is a dangerous one for these old fogies. I am included. I'm also. So they love the taste of everything. And they can never do anything right. After that, they are willing to tell lies left, right and center. It's straight away looking in your eye and saying, I did not eat anything. Now imagine, you are the one who is telling them not to eat. Now you are a young person, you are telling them not to eat because you care for them. You care for these people, so you're telling them, don't eat, this is not good for you, this is not good health, blah, blah, blah. They give you a peace of mind and they say, what is the difference? Why are you telling me I should not eat? I am eating only this much, this much doesn't create problems. And you are trying to convince them. While you are trying to convince them, both of you are at loggerheads with each other. This old person is not even interested in listening to you. Because these people are born of habits. Because of the sense objects. See, having sense objects for their tender leaves, the branches of the aforesaid tree, that is the Pipala tree, extend both downwards and upwards, creating more karma with you. Why are you arguing with them? Tell them once, twice, just tell them nicely, they are not supposed to eat oily stuff or fried stuff or this stuff or that stuff. No sugar, okay? You have to take stuff which is bland. It is good for your health. You may have various issues, so don't do this. But they are anyway not going to listen to you. You may try to hide the stuff, but still they will not listen to you. Now tell me, why are you arguing with them? In the initial stages, I used to argue with my mother. Later on, I told her very clearly, I said, you want to live long? You want to be healthy even till you die? Then you are not supposed to eat this. You are a grown-up person, understand this. Finally, I said, it's your choice, it's your life. The problem is, nobody listens. Neither you listen, nor the young person listens. And both of you are at loggerheads with each other. Finally, both become enemies. Why are you trying to correct them? You have told them they are grown-up people, they have knowledge, they have understanding, they have experience in their world. Just tell them once or twice and leave it. You have other important things to do. Likewise, in the material world, what is the point in arguing with people? When you know that other person has anger sitting on the nose, you are not supposed to argue with that person. Because that person is given to habits. See, tender leaves. See, why are you creating tender leaves? The more you argue, the more you get into stuff like that, you are creating karmas after karmas after karmas after karmas. So you will be dead and born again, dead and born again, and rebirths and rebirths and rebirths and rebirths. And with the same idiot. This time you are the parent and the other person is the child. That child who was in the previous birth, the father or the mother, will now tell you, you don't eat. But you are not going to change. You will say, no, what is the big deal? I can eat little. Nothing is going to go wrong. That's what's going to happen. Unnecessary getting into this life cycle after cycle after cycle. So this is what happens. So I hope with this example you got an understanding. So it extends both upwards and downwards. And its roots, the roots become literally very strong. It binds the soul. The soul of yours is get bound in this body. See, when you are so much responsible for trying to, rectify this world, the world is not even willing to listen to you. When they are not even going to listen to you, and you're trying to save the world, you're the great savior of this world. You're Jesus Christ, There's no point in trying to tell them that. You tell them once or twice, it's okay. So, both of you are going to end up becoming each other in some future life. So, this is the way in which the soul gets bound. You get bound by those things. According to its actions in the human body creates these actions. Sometimes you may get angry and slap that person. Sometimes you may shout at that person and say some bad words. Sometimes you may throw that person out. Anything can happen. You have created so much of karma with that person that you are never ever going to get release in your life. So your cycle is endless. Before the creation it started, when the creation was happening, Brahmaji made you, till the pralaya, the last. All the yugas you are just getting recycled. How many times do you want recycled? You need to stop this thing and give it up. Spiritual people do not indulge and involve in unnecessary fights and talks. They are silent. They can understand the futility of this world. They do not indulge in useless talk. If you are listening to this chapter and this verse, please understand, every time when you open your mouth and every time when you give responses and every time when you get into arguments, you are unnecessarily giving rise to another body of yours. This Pipala tree keeps on growing and growing and upwards and downwards. Your roots are becoming stronger and stronger. You are going to be born again and again and again. Because with this human body you are creating actions. And they are spread in all the regions, higher as well as lower. The regions, there are various regions. You see, in our body there are 3 regions which I can tell you. Bhur, Bhuvar, Swa. So that is the higher one, the middle one and the lower one. We did this last time if you recollect. The heavens, the earthly plane and the one below. Okay, the patalas. Why would you want to create such a foundation of this body? The body which is so much indulging in activity, you need to give it up. Alright? They are spread in all regions, higher as well as lower. Got it? Alright, so now we will go to the next verse. Krishna is telling us that this kind of activity of ours, which is unnecessarily performed by actions by you, should be stopped. You need to stop this one day. Take it as this is the day. Today I am going to not get into anything. Your job is to do your job. That's it. Not get into unnecessary talk, arguments, this, that, all these things. Why are you letting all your senses do all your talking? With your eyes you will see something bad. With your ears you will hear something dirty. With your nose you will smell something bad. With your mouth you will talk and taste something. Don't keep on getting into these things. So let us see verse 3 what Krishna says. We are doing the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 3. The nature of the tree of creation does not on mature thought turn out what it is represented to be. For it is neither beginning nor end nor even stability. Therefore, cutting down this Pipala tree, which is most firmly rooted in the form of this world, with the formidable acts of dispassion. See, Krishna has given a fantastic answer for all your stupid arguments. Your unnecessary talk, your unnecessary getting into heated debates, your unnecessary giving fantastic advice to people who are not even willing to listen, and you are getting caught up in this material worldly cycle because you are now the body. So here he says, see what he says. The nature of this tree of creation does not on mature thoughts. Who has mature thoughts? Those who are great thinkers. Not frivolous people. No. People, those who are on the path of spiritual, have to do Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan. You have to read, write, see, learn, cogitate, think, and then act accordingly. These are the things that you need to do. First, gather the knowledge. The knowledge of spiritual is so strong. What knowledge I am giving you just now from the Bhagavad Gita is so much important. This knowledge you gather, bring it together. Use this knowledge for your own development. With this knowledge that you get, what happens? You will have mature thoughts. What are mature thoughts? You will then understand, yes, it is the truth. Silence is golden. I don't need to get into arguments. I don't need to respond to stupid arguments and things in this world. Why do I need to get into entanglements with people? See? No entanglements of any kind. So, the mature thought will tell you. It turns out what it is represented to be. This Pipala tree, it is represented to be permanent. Remember the word which was used earlier? It's a tree, Pipala tree, representation came from that imperishable Brahma. Remember the seed. The seed was taken by Brahmaji, framework was used, and this whole world got created. Krishna is telling you just now, this tree, which it has been represented like this, which doesn't have any beginning or end, actually, it's an illusion. It is not real. There is no such thing. That is why I said it is a representation. I gave you 2-3 names if you recollect. If you see in verse 1, I said it's sometimes called Ashwatha, sometimes it's called Pipala, Pimple tree, and all those kind of things. Do you know the reason why I said this? Because it's an imaginary tree. It's a representative tree. There is no tree. So here he says, turns out what it is represented to be, for it has neither beginning nor end, nor even stability. The tree is non-existent. It is a creation of Maya. Remember? Maya. illusory. Actually, if you take it as real, then you are the sufferer. In the previous example where I was telling you, you are trying to convince your parents not to eat oily stuff or stuff which is dangerous for their health. Are you not trying to tell them that? And I told you there is useless arguing with them. Just tell them once or twice and that's it. They are anyway not going to listen. If they listen, it will be for their own good. If they don't listen, what is the use? Are you going to do anything? You think you are some world changer or something like that? As a spiritual guru, as a spiritual master, I have not been able to change a single person. I am still searching for that one singular person whom I can say is a true person. You think Shri Krishna found anybody? The great master, Shri Krishna himself, do you think did he find a single good disciple? There was Arjuna in this book that is there, Bhagavad Gita. This person is totally a gone case. He's a lost case. And then there is Uddhava. It is only out of compassion that Krishna says to him, you are my friend. And as a friend, I will have to try to save you. But did he really find a disciple? No. Krishna can keep on coming over and over and over again. But there isn't a single person whom he can say, this is my representative. This is the person who is capable, who will have the silence, who will be totally having equipoise, equanimity of mind, is able to handle this world as well as that. This is the impossibility of this universe. Knowledge is there, but nobody uses the knowledge. Ahankara, ego comes in the way. That is why it is difficult for anybody to rise in spiritual, because the moment your ego comes, you are going to try to reprimand people, try to say that you know better than anybody else. But it is a fake creation. It is fake for you as well as for the other person. Their death is already programmed. Your parents may not be listening to you. Their death is already programmed. Your death is also programmed. Your life is programmed and their life is programmed. So who are you to tell them that? You just do your job, tell them, and just get out of that way. Don't keep on getting upset and angry. You are not supposed to be having anger sitting on your nose or getting upset or thinking like anything. No. Cut the tree. Cut this tree, this unnatural tree that is there. That is what he's saying. Therefore, cutting the Pipala tree, cut this tree of regeneration. More leaves, more leaves, more leaves. Why do you need it? Cut it. How do you cut it? Cut it, which is most firmly rooted in the form of this world which is unreal. It is rooted in the form of this world. It appears so real. It is Maya literally facing you. And you think Maya is real. See, Maya is unreal. It is just an unreal creation. It is to fox you. It is to twist your mind. Because you use your mind. If you want to go beyond the gunas, stop using your mind. Stop using the senses. You don't need to. Got it? So he says, which is most firmly rooted in this world with the formidable acts of dispassion. You have to become dispassionate in this world. Why are you getting so much involved in this whole universal creation? It really doesn't matter who does what. If there are some people in this world who will never listen to you, why are you trying to teach them to understand something? They are anyway not going to listen. You do your duty, let them do their duty. If there are some people who are used to something, addicted to something, there is nothing in this world which will tell them to get out of it. If they get out of it, it is good for them. If they are not able to, that is none of your business. Why are you so much bothered about it? Those who are on the path of spiritual are not here to change anybody else. Please remember this. You are not some world leader who is going to change the world. Nobody changes. The one who is supposed to change is you. If you are learning spirituality, please don't try to teach other people to change. First you change. Why are you talking? Why are you getting involved? Why are you so much in agitation? Why are you getting upset with people? Why do you have to get so much in passionate embrace with the world? That is why Krishna says these words. Take these acts of dispassion and cut this tree of Pipala. Become dispassionate. Don't bother about anything. You don't need to have all your senses literally drawn towards that object. Whether it is lust, greed or any other thing. Why are you involved? Let it be. And this is the truth. So Krishna says, there is a Pipala tree. The whole world gets entangled in the tree because Brahmaji is the creator. He uses the framework, which is the Vedas. They are literally seeding through the veins of the tree. And he creates this whole universe, the beautiful universe of Maya. And with every action of your senses, sense objects, senses that are there, you get involved in this world, getting totally lost in it. You look at some object and you get involved in that object. And then what happens to you? You come under the circle of rebirths. Because you are giving rise to a new bud, a new bud, a new leaf, a new leaf, a new leaf, a new leaf. Right? You are getting entangled with people. One person and another and another and another and another. And the more karmas you do with your senses and mind and everything put together with your body, binds the soul. It entangles the soul in this continuous cycle of rebirths. So here Krishna is saying in the verse number 3, he says this tree of creation is actually unreal. Why are you getting into it? Why do you need this kind of a life where you are getting entangled with people, places, things like that? It's all unreal. Just let it be. Take the axe of dispassion and cut the tree. When you cut the tree, you will be free. No rebirths for you. Got it? So now we go to the next verse. We are doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 4. Thereafter, a man should diligently seek for that supreme state. That is God. Having attained which, they return no more in this world. And having fully resolved that he stands dedicated to this primeval being, that is God Narayana himself, from whom the flow of this beginningless creation has progressed, he should dwell and meditate on him. Therefore, Krishna is saying, take these acts of dispassion and cut all these attachments of this world. This thought process is the thinking that I can change it, I can do this, I am capable, blah, 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 all these things. Don't have so much to do with this. Just do your duties. That's it. You are not here to change anything or anybody. Change yourself. Become that one person eligible for this. To reach Lord Narayana, the primeval person. Got it? A man should diligently seek for that supreme state. Seek for this beautiful state. I want to be in a state of complete bliss. I will live in this world, do all the duties, but I will not get entangled in anything. Whether they are parents, brothers, sisters, husbands, wives, children, friends, relatives, bosses, companies, states, you name it. Why are you so much involved in all these things? You have a job, do your job diligently. But your primary motivation is to get liberation out of this whole thing. You cannot get liberated by saying, okay, I give up everything and I go to the Himalayas. Then you are an idiot. You are that tamasic person. You will never get liberation. Never. So don't try to think that you can, I'll give up everything and run away. No. God has not made you for running away, sir. He has made you so that you can understand everything. So he says, a man should diligently seek from that supreme state, that is God himself, attaining which he returns no more to this world. So you do not have any karmic action you have performed with anybody. You are not in any debt of any kind with anybody. No karmic debt with anybody. Neither your parents, nor your siblings, nor your family, that is wife, children and all that. You are not in debt of anybody. You just do your duty. You have to serve your parents, serve them. But you don't have to give them advice. You are not some advisor. You are not United Nations advisor or something like that. No, you are a spiritualist. Just do what you are supposed to do. If you have to give them medicine, give them medicine. If you have to build a house for them, build a house for them. Why are you getting entangled in that business? So, but always remember that your job is to get liberated. Don't get attached with anybody. Take that sword, take that axe of dispassion and cut this tree of Pipala. And then attain the divine state of the Lord himself. Return no more to this world. Don't return again back to this world. And fully resolve. And please be resolved, with the knowledge that you have, you be resolved that I am not going to get into any entanglements of any kind with anybody. Why get into entanglements with anybody? You have to remain in a complete detached manner. Only remember, there is only one attachment of yours, and that is to Lord Narayana himself. See, he stands dedicated to Lord Narayana, the primeval being, from whom this beginningless creation has progressed. He is the one who created this world. Lord Narayana, he is the Brahma. I told you about it. It is the Mahavishnu form that come later on, because they are the creative energies which further on come. So Lord Narayana is the first one. He is always in the state of that, that sleeping blissful sleep that he has. He is on the ocean of milk with the Adishesh round him as his bed. Lakshmi next to him. I'm sure this is the form you have seen so many times. That is Narayana. Look at him. Go to him. Pray to him. From him flows the beginningless creation. And dwell and meditate on him. So that you go back to that state. The primeval state. We go to the next verse. We are doing chapter 15 from the Bhagavad Gita, verse 5. They who are free from pride and delusion, who have conquered the evil of attachment and are constantly abiding in God, whose craving has altogether ceased and who is completely immune to the pair of opposites going by the name of pleasure and pain and are undiluted, attain that supreme immortal state. This supreme immortal state of Lord Narayana has to be attained by you. That should be your goal. Living in this world, you should be able to achieve that state. A state of being where you are completely one with yourself. That state. There should be no pride or delusions. The pride which comes from whatever, your body, your mind, your village, your country, your religion, whatever the pride that is there in you, I am from this caste, I am the greatest one on earth, I am like this, I am like that, my education, I am PhD, I am this, all that is nonsense. Give up this pride and the delusion of yours. I am somebody. You are nobody. You are just like a person from the roadside. Give up this delusion. Give up this delusion and conquer the evil of attachment. This attachment which you have. You know how many attachments you have created in your world? People have the cheek to look at me and tell them, I am not attached to my parents. I am not attached to my wife and children. I am not attached to my job. I am not attached to this. But they cannot live without them. They have to attend to them. They have to be so much involved with their bosses that the boss says one thing and the full day is in depression. My boss said this. That is talking about attachment. If your parents are getting angry and upset with you, okay, why are you getting attached to them? They are not your parents. Your parent is Narayana himself. He is the one who has done everything. Shri Krishna, higher than him. So here Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna this very thing very clearly. He says, why are you attached to everybody? Father, mother, siblings, this one, that one, everybody. Why do you keep on getting attached to it? If they are suffering, it is their karma. Oh, I cannot do anything. Poor thing is suffering. This is happening. That is happening. They don't have money. They don't have this. Good health. What is that? You want to give them money? Give. But why get attached to what you are giving? What makes you think that you should be attached? If you take them to the hospital, and if they are treating them for some cancer or blood pressure or diabetes or something like that, it's your duty. Why are you getting involved in that action? You are not some doctor to give advice. The doctor gives advice, let him give. If they don't understand what is worth it, that is not your problem. Be detached. You have done your duty, do your duty and get out of that place. If you have to give money to them, give money to them, but don't get involved in their activity. People love to do these kind of things. They will say, I give money to my parents. Okay, I have to pay their electricity bill, I have to pay their this, and they will want to pay everything, and on top of all that, they will still say, oh, I want to see whether they are eating properly or no. It is not your business to try to find out that. They are grown-up people, they can handle themselves. It is not your duty to go and search and try to correct them. Why are you attached? This is what he says. Conquer the evil of attachment. This is the evil of attachment. I hate my brother and my sister. The moment you say the word hate, it is called attachment. Why do you hate a person? Or why do you like a person? I have got a very good brother, I like him a lot. Attachment. Why are you bothered? If your brother does something, your sister does something, you should not be bothered about it. They are going to have babies, that is their problem, not your problem. Why are you involved in somebody else's life? It is called attachment. If something happens to them, you are going to get into that cycle of rebirths with them. Do you get the point? The more attachment that you have, suppose your parents are suffering from something, or your sister or brother, somebody is sick, and you go and you pray to God, God, please help them. God, I want to give them medicine. I want to do this, I want to do that. Tomorrow they die. While they are dying, they will say, please take care of my child, please take care of this, please take care. You are gone forever. Because now you have got yourself entangled into something completely different. then you become responsible for things in your life which you are not even supposed to be involved with. This is the unfortunate part in your life. Give this thing away. Don't get attached to anything, including your company and the position that you are in. If you get upset and angry with your bosses or your downlines or the people, your colleagues, you are getting in entanglement with them. A karmic loop is forming with them. Don't get attached to all that. They are free to do what they are doing, but why are you involved in it? If it is none of your business, it's none of your business. You do your work diligently and get out of that way. This is the truth. Then, the cravings have altogether ceased. All these cravings you have, different kinds. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. Some people have cravings for eating. Some people have cravings for living in fancy places. Some people want good clothes. Some people want, jewelry, diamonds, gold, this, that, fancy cars, fancy two-wheelers and this and that. Oh my God, they have terrible kind of attachments with these kind of things. So he says, you have to give up these cravings. The cravings have to cease. Doesn't matter. Why are you bothered? What you wear, what you do, how you sleep, how you get up, where you are living. Why should it matter to you? And are completely immune to the pair of opposites, going by pleasure and pain. Somebody says something and you get upset. Somebody praises you and gives you a fancy designation. Oh, I am the big person now. I'm the CEO of a company. Who gives a damn whether you're a CEO or whether you're a peon? Sir, try to reach this state of Narayana. Okay? This, whatever CEO it might be, who gives a damn who you are? Today you may be the CEO. Tomorrow there will be 100 more. Your company may close down. Do you think anybody will remember who you are? Nobody has a memory to remember you. Many years ago, there were a lot of people who started some fantastic organizations and companies and stuff like that. Who remembers who is the minister, who is the prime minister? Do you even remember? The old king, the queen, who remembers? Who cares? You don't care about anything. And do you think you will be remembered? You are getting into attachment for unnecessary stuff. So stay from this pair of opposites. The likes and the dislikes, the pain and the pleasure. Just give it up. It doesn't matter. You just have to sleepwalk through that whole process. Don't get involved in the process. It is painful. It is painful. It is like taking an injection. It is going to be painful. Okay, painful. Then what? Go away. Ahead. And undeluded. When you are undeluded, you will attain this immortal state, this supreme immortal state of Narayana himself. You will become that immortal Narayana at the beginning of time. From him came everything. That primeval being. You will merge in the primeval being and you will not be bothered. So living in this world, you will be in the state of bliss, a state of Narayana. Person is in a deep sleep. Lakshmi is working. Everybody else is working. You are literally dreaming this whole universe yourself. Why should it matter to you? So this is a chapter which is extremely important for all those people who are so much attached in this world, so much passionate about things, who are constantly on the path of karma. Don't. Cut that tree, cut it. Cut that Pipala tree of attachment in this world and become that supreme person who is completely lost in the bliss. So we have come to the end of verse 5. We will stop over here. Day after tomorrow, in the morning, I will be taking the Uddhav Gita. Tomorrow there will be no satsang. Alright? So take care, have a great day, and I will see you all day after tomorrow in the morning for Uddhav Gita satsang. Bye.